One of the more difficult parts I find. Oh, we're starting. Yeah, so they both start in Link's house here. I was going to say one of the more difficult parts I find is there's no half magic, and the potions only refill 7 hearts and only refill half your magic. So magic management becomes much more important in hard difficulty.
That's right, and our 2 key safety items, the King of Burna no longer providing a vulnerability, and the Magic Cape consuming twice the magic it does in normal mode.
And there's our sword from the uncle. And some more bombs from the first chest. So it's good to have bombs early. So that you can get those 3 chests in the back of Escape.
That's right, it'll be a good weight to have off the runner's mind so they won't have to come back here later.
So, Tao, what are you thinking will be our go mode item today?
Oh, you know, with all dungeons, I mean, that's a hard call. I mean, Ice Rod does love to be nice and trolly, but for some reason tonight, I'm feeling like Hookshot might be evasive.
Yeah, Hookshot can be a fun one. Depending on the dungeon layout, that could even be in Ganon's Tower. I'm going to say they'll have trouble finding the Cane of Samaria. So we got our 1 small key that we're guaranteed to get. And we're coming up to Zelda's cell now. And there's Flippers. So that's out of the way.
That can be a little comforting to find early on. So with fake flippering and no longer being a glitch, that means that all the early Sphere 0 checks like Hobo are in logic, so no breaking needed.
Alright, coming up on the sewers. Our runners will get a free light cone in here, even though they don't have the lamp.
That's right, that's a feature in the standard setting only.
And just a piece of heart from the sewer's chest. And we've got to kill one of these rats to get a small key. And now we get to see what is in the back of the escape. Full heart, but not too much else. And we've arrived at the sanctuary under 6 minutes, so that's a pretty good time. Just 20
very good
rupees.
time for Lanxion.
Yeah. Both of them under 6 minutes, actually.
Alright, so now the seed opens up, and let's take a look.
That is a regular pendant at Hera and regular crystals at Eastern and Desert. Of course, this being an all-dungeon seed, it's not as important to know which dungeons are which, but it can still tell you which might open up Ganon's Tower or the pedestal or other locations.
Plus, if Sahasrara is holding an item for us, the green pendant dungeon in the Dark World could be a bit of a stumbling block.
So we see some immediate divergence. Langshion's going to go up north, check Lumberjack, while P-Train's going to go down on the south route. Just a red rupee at Lumberjack. And a blue rupee in the water, and another red rupee. Lanxion is going to pick it up since it can help him buy some bombs. Or rather, buy the item from the bottle vendor, because we already have plenty of bombs.
Let's see what we got here in Mini Moldworm Cave. The seed's been a little dry so far.
Yeah, many of those rupees actually, I believe, are replacing things like heart pieces and maybe some of the other upgrades that you don't get in hard mode.
So there's the powder, which still used for Magic Bat, and you can still powder anti-fairies with that item, but the anti-fairies will only yield single heart pieces. There will be no fairies from anti-fairies.
Yeah, and we also got a Quake medallion, so we don't know whether that'll be useful or not yet. There's our red boomerang.
That is yet another nerfed item for hard mode, because the boomerangs no longer stun enemies.
We also got our one mail upgrade. We will not find another one. And there's the silvers. P-Train heading into Ice Rod Cave now while Lanxion checks out the well.
Even more bombs.
Yeah, each runner gets to choose the settings for one race. So Lanxion was the higher seed, so I believe he was the one who chose these settings.
And there's our first glove in the well.
P-Train gonna put those flippers to work early. Just a piece of heart on the floating island, or on the Hylia island.
So many bombs and rupees in the seed.
Yeah. P-Train throws a bomb in the water for some reason. More rupees from our hobo.
So, depending on what we get out of Dig Game here, it looks like that glove is going to be our only real clue going forward in this seed.
Yep. So we do have the whole Zora area open, but of course our runners are not quite close to enough rupees yet. But if that becomes their only option, you might see them do a hula hand trick in order to try to gather up the rupees they need for that. Let's see what Sahasrara has in his closet here.
Oh, the second glove.
Yeah, and 300 rupees. So, yeah, we just need a moon pearl to access the Dark World. P-Train is going to head into Eastern Palace. We can't full clear it without the bow, but at this point there's not a whole lot of options left. Big key in the first chest is nice. Lanxion gonna get his powder and his quake. And P-Train finds a Master Sword.
So, now with that Master Sword in hand, all we need is a lamp. And we had to go to Aga 1 anyway, but maybe that's going to be our Moon Pearl location on the pyramid.
Yep. So the question is, what are we going to find first, a lamp or a moon pearl? Well, apparently there's a whole lot of cash on the left side of Swamp, so if our runners remember that, they'll know they don't have to bother with that area.
Yep, that's a great hint, letting you skip the left side of Swamp just in case they are not in go mode by the time they have to head on in there.
Looks like our runners now are going to kind of switch sides of... P-Train's going to clear out Kakariko, and Lanxion is going to do the water stuff. He might head up towards the Zora area, actually, although he doesn't have nearly enough cash. You can still get 3 items, though.
Yeah, aside from the desert area, they are not really left with many options at this point.
So it looks like Lanxion is going to head down to this whirlpool, which will take him up near Zora's domain. And Waterfall Fairy with 2 items in here. There's our Moon Pearl. And a full heart. So we have partial Dark World access. Actually, no, we have full Dark World access with the flippers. Lanxion will just quickly check this ledge item. It's a bottle. He had to think about whether he wanted it, but he doesn't have any other bottles, so he's going to just go and pick it up.
Especially since he still does not have that second glove. He needs to go to Hasralah's closet to get that.
Yep. It's worth noting, without that hammer, we only have the one portal to the Dark World, which is near Kakariko. So it's possible maybe the runners will choose just to do Aga early, just to have that extra warp to the Dark World. That being, of course, if they can't find the hammer easily.
That is true. We'll have to see how they feel, if they want to go and just get Aga out of the way with their current equipment, or if they want to maybe use that portal to get to the Village of Outcasts, which is a little bit more of an item-dense location.
Alright, now what's Lanxion going to do next? Is he going to go into the Dark World? He might check Sick. Well, he's going to check Sick Kid first, probably. Then he'll presumably head into the Village of Outcasts.
That definitely does seem like the best play to make. P-Train over in the Lost Woods is going to go and pick up some of those rupees, trying to get to his 500 rupee cutoff to go up to Zora.
Yeah, if there's a valuable item there, that could be a big advantage, because Lanxion may not want to go back anytime soon for just one item.
That's right. This could put him in a very awkward position, since unless he gets up there to go check Catfish and has the mirror, he's not going to have much motivation to go back into the Zora area.
Yeah. P-Train just discovering one of the hard mode nerfs. That boomerang does not stun enemies. And here's our Dark World map check. I see crystals 5 and 6 at Schoolwoods and Ice Palace. I saw the green pendant at Swamp and the red pendant at Thieves Town. Lanxion getting a nice return on his investment at the chess game.
In the meantime, P-Train's picking up his Moon Pearl. It looks like he is heading up to the Zora area. Is he going to farm up some rupees? It looks like it.
Looks like he'll try. He was really hoping that ledge would have some rupees for him. Lanxion, meanwhile, so far just finding rupees in the Village of Outcasts. And he's going to head into Thieves Town. Looks like P-Train, yeah. Gonna give up
Also
on
skipping
Zora for
Zora.
now.
I guess we will have to see if that ends up being an okay play, or if they're gonna regret that a little bit later in the seed.
Yeah. But at the very least, for now, it affects them both equally. Nothing much in the front of Thieves' Town. Langshon's going to go in back. If there's an item in that big chest, he's probably going to have to isolate it.
Yeah, luckily he does already have blue mail. He has a decent amount of hearts for this early in the seed, and since blind does not take additional damage from different weapon types, he should be okay to do a fighter sword blind clear.
P-Train, meanwhile, going through Skull Woods. Getting harassed a little bit by those Gibdos, but he gets through. Just a map for his troubles.
Hard mode does have a tempered sword. These swords work in hard mode. There are actually still 4 sword locations in the world, and as soon as you get the tempered sword, the 4th sword becomes rupees. So we could see these runners both get tempered sword from separate locations.
Not a whole lot of items to work with so far in the seed. P-Train gonna bomb jump over towards the big chest. And it's just a piece of heart.
So without the fire rod, P-Train is done with Skull Woods, so we are now looking to see if Lanxion finds something that opens up a little bit more of the world, since after this, I'm not sure we have much left other than some other Dark World overworld heist.
Yeah, well, they can head down to the South Shore, so they've got Hype Cave, and then they can head over towards Pod. Maybe... Actually, no, they can't get into Ice Palace, never mind. Need a fire rod or a bombos, but they can at least go into Pod.
Lanxion finding even more cash and taking down our first boss of the seed.
I think that was all 4 items. I'm not 100% sure. And tracker confirmed, so there's no items left in the big chest, so they don't have to worry about going back with that hammer. Lanxion going to head over to the dig game, while P-Train is going to go into Thieves' Town. How many digs are we going to get this time? Not
The
too much,
flute!
but that is a great item.
So that gives us our logical Death Mountain access.
Yeah, as well as the Misery Mire area. Lanxion heading over towards Hype Cave now.
Alright, let's see how much hype we've got. Bombos!
Oh, that's our Ice Palace access. The P-Train death warped out of Thieves' Town and decided to come back later if he finds the hammer.
I'm not sure how I feel about that hype cave. I'm going to give that, I'm going to say tentatively a 3 out of 10, since we might not have the fire rod when we need to dive into ice.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing super exciting, but Bombos does open up those chests in Ice Palace that don't require the hammer. Lanxion is going to go activate his flute. P-Train, meanwhile, is going to take the blacksmith for a little walk. And Lanxion is going to go have a look at Misery Mire. So we'll see what we need to get in there. That's Quake, so we can open it up. I will need the boots or the hook shot before we can do anything inside it. And nothing much there in the Misery Mire shed.
P-Train grabbing his Bombos medallion.
And Lanxion, meanwhile, will be the first of our runners to head up to Death Mountain. He's going to go through this dark room to get the old man and set up a spawn point.
And while he's up to that, it looks like P-Train is probably going to go take that smith back home and activate his flute at the same time.
Just a little bit of love from the old man. Lanxion opting to check the item in there. A lot of runners now will just dive straight in so they can check that hint. So if that's a helpful hint, that could be a disadvantage for him.
You'll have to see what P-Train decides to do when he gets up there.
Meanwhile, Lanxion going to visit our hermit, Agana, who has an item for us. And the blacksmith's ripping us off, charging us $10 to get 5 back.
Lanxion grabbing a Fisher Price shield out of Agina's closet. So there are still heart containers and full hearts, but the total number of health is down from 20 hearts to 14.
Lanxion, meanwhile, going to go into Eastern Palace. I believe there was a sword in here, if I remember correctly, but not a whole lot else.
I believe that's right, so he will be getting his Master Sword out of here. So is P-Train going for that Zora check, or is he... Oh, the Madman!
P-Train is going to head into ice. It's a bit of a gamble with no hammer, no hook shot, but could work out for him.
Luckily, there are some extra hint tiles in here, making Ice Palace pretty valuable in this current version of the logic. And, you know, he is just reading the seed, and with the gear that he has, there's not a whole lot he could do other than maybe just kind of walk into pod and just kind of mosey around a little bit in the front half. P-Train still does not have that bottle. No, wait, actually, I'm sorry. I thought he did pick up a bottle. That was on Zora Ledge, correct?
Yeah. Well, we'll see next time in menus. P-Train's just going to use the bombos here because he's down to 1 heart, and those penguins jump all over you. And we did see a hint that there's some bombs above the pose, which refers to the graveyard ledge, so when we get the mirror, we can forget about that location. P-Train's got to be really careful here with just 1 heart.
This is definitely not a position you want to find yourself in, this being the second dungeon that you're dipping into with just a handful of hearts, and with the hard mode difficulty especially.
P-Train killing all the enemies because he wants more health if he can find it.
You definitely don't want to get that bug where when you fall down a hole, you take damage on every frame if an enemy is attacking you.
P-Train getting one of our useless hints. Those are always displayed in green, so you know they are meaningless. This is a very tough room to do on just 1 or 2 hearts. P-Train deciding he's not going to do the bomb jump with 2 hearts. I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's a very wise move, I think.
And without a hammer, I'm not sure it really helps you anyway.
Yeah, I think at this point he's sort of resigned himself to the fact that this is a single dip into Ice Palace. He's just kind of fishing for some useful item. He knows he's going to have to come back here.
P-Train maybe wishes he had used the bombs to take out those penguins. Bombs do kill the penguins in one hit. Now he's trying to figure out how he's going to get across this gap.
I think he's realizing I'm across, I can't get back though.
Well, it's a bit of a conundrum. Yeah, that didn't work. Well, that is too bad for P-Train.
It was a bold move from P-Train, but unfortunately not paying off, so we'll have to see where he decides to... Oh, he's keeping at it.
Well, he thinks there's something in Ice Palace, so he's going to follow his gut here. It looked like Lanxion might have been heading to ice, but now he's changing his mind. He's going to go back to the Village of Outcasts.
I don't think Lanxion did the Smith chain yet, so I think that's what he's thinking. Going to take the frog home.
Yeah, maybe. May head over to the Pyramid and Catfish, possibly, while he's at it.
Yep, that is a good call. With the mitts and the flippers, you can cross that river in that is northeast of the pyramid.
P-Train playing musical chairs with that fairy. He's got 4 hearts this time, so hopefully he'll have a bit better luck here. So, what's left in terms of progression? I guess it's looking like, unless there's something in Ice Palace, they may have to head over to Pod or Pyramid and Catfish.
Yeah, those are our main contenders at this point. Not really anything else left.
We still haven't seen Zora yet. Oh, but there's a Fire Rod. So, P-Train's perseverance pays off a little here. It doesn't open a whole lot, but he can get into the back of Skull Woods.
So I will stand by that 3 of 10 hype cave now, since we do know that Fire Rod was locked behind Bombos after all.
Yep. And Lanxion is going to go check Zora.
I definitely empathize with this choice. I would not want to go anywhere near Ice Palace at this point, even if the seed was pointing and screaming at me to go into ice.
And there's the bow. Wow, Ice Palace. Ice Palace with the value. So that does make Eastern completable, although not in logic, because we still haven't found the lamp.
That's right, and Pod is in a similar boat, since without the lamp we do not have logical access to the dark rooms, but we can do everything except Helmasaur until we get that hammer.
So, I wonder how long it will take Lanxion to head over to Ice Palace. P-Train looks like he's just going to go straight and clear out Skull Woods.
Looks like Lanxion is making that play up on Catfish and probably heading to the pyramid afterward.
So let's see what he can dig up over here.
A question, chat, about silvers. The silvers only work on Ganon. They are otherwise normal arrows for every single other enemy in the game.
Oh, Lanxion is buying a potion. I think he's going to try to potion glitch into Pod.
Yeah, I think that is definitely going to be his next play, is heading into Pod. We already kind of saw him consider Ice Palace and then immediately run off, so I don't think he's going to be heading in there anytime soon.
There's Ether. So we now have guaranteed access to Turtle Rock and Mire once we have the items we need.
And now Catfish is another one of those out-of-the-way locations. P-Train has some nice momentum and some a bunch of stuff he can clear, so Catfish is kind of dropped off his list in terms of importance. So we'll have to see if that Ether on Turtle Rock could be a bottleneck for him later on.
Yeah, the only thing that might help him get back there sooner is if he finds the mirror, and then he can route it in with his Zora check.
Yeah, the mirror would definitely make Catfish a lot more palatable. So P-Train is now dropping in on the Moth while Lanxion goes and does our pyramid check.
Did you see what was there? I missed it.
Just some more loose cash.
Alright.
The hook shot on Mothula. P-Train taking down his first boss, and again, that Ice Palace value just continues to deliver.
And that opens up a lot of items on Death Mountain, so I would guess that'll be his next play.
Meanwhile, Lanxion looks like he's headed for the chest turn-in. Going to take that on a little bit of a world tour. Again, trying to avoid that Ice Palace play.
Yeah, not too bad a trip when you have the flute, though. Just some bombs. Looks like Lanxion now is headed to Ice Palace.
Alright, there we go.
Now, he does have a few more overworld checks completed compared to P-Train, so P-Train has to make those checks later on. That might be a chance for Lanxion to make up some time.
Yep, absolutely. We'll have to see how if the dungeons that are coming up want to be as generous as Ice Palace and Skull Woods have been to P-Train.
P-Train is going to check this hint, and it is telling him that the purple chest is useless.
I was going to say that just before he checked it, but I wanted to wait for the hint so I wouldn't have to say it, but it is such a tragedy because Lanxion was there and he chose to skip that hint. Could have just saved himself some time with that chest. Remember, folks, remember to check your hint tiles.
Alright, P-Train gonna head into Paradox Cave here. 7 items he can get. There is the Ice Rod. Certainly an item we need, although we can't do much with it until we have a Cane of Samaria and a hammer to get into Turtle Rock. Three blue rupees so far. There's a red one and a hammer.
There it is.
Alright, that is massive for P-Train right now. All these items just kind of falling into his lap one after another. He can also head over and do Tower of Hera as well while he's here now. Looks like that's the first thing he's going to do.
Yeah, it's a good choice. He's already up here. Tower of Hera is a relatively quick dungeon, and if he manages to find something like, at this rate, the Book of Midora in here, he can just hop right over and check out that Ether tablet.
Yep. Lanxion picking up his Fire Rod. First item in here is a bottle of green goo. P-Train coming up on his second hint here. A unique item is near the Haunted Grove. I believe that means that cave. Is it the one south of the grove?
That could be referring to K45, yes.
Yeah, so you need the mirror to get in there, but I imagine he'll want to check that whenever he finds the mirror.
Of course, it could be a truly unique item. I don't think we've seen the single green rupee or the single artisanal arrow yet.
Yep. Now, Lanxion with his bow and fire rod. Where's he going to go first? Meanwhile, P-Train takes on Moldorm. Gonna use the hammer.
Looks like Lanxion is going to be heading right into Skull Woods.
Well, that's good for him.
Oh, P-Train getting trolled by the Trolldorn.
He's only got one heart left as well, so he's got to be a little careful here. More. Oh, no, no. Oh, he almost got hit there. But he takes
After
him down.
another narrow escape. Tempered sword for his troubles, and he has his maximum sword for this hard mode seed.
Wow, it's just everywhere he goes seems to have something good at this point. Of course, we didn't find much early in the seed, so that's not too surprising.
Yeah, the seed definitely owes these guys a few items for those early checks.
P-Train now heads into Spiral Cave. As Lanxion makes his way towards Mothula and the hookshot.
Alright, Lanxion getting Mothula down.
And it looks like P-Train is going to head over and open up Turtle Rock if he can.
And let's see if he's going to get trolled by that ether medallion on the catfish.
Not today.
Nope, Vanilla Quake on Turtle Rock.
So he can't do anything inside with the Cane of Samaria, but he can read the hint right at the front. But he's not going to do that.
But I think we are going to see Hookshot Cave here, and the rest of Dark Death Mountain get some more items cleared out.
It doesn't have any invincibility items for Spike Cave, so I don't know if he'll be able to go in there. But he does find the lamp. Lanxion picking up his hammer, while P-Train checks out Hookshot Cave.
P-Train grabbing his first shield.
Well, nothing of value there, so he's going to save and quit. And he's going to flute somewhere, maybe to Pod?
I think that the Pod would definitely make the most sense, especially with that lamp now, so he can do Pod. Unfortunately, without the mirror, can't do Eastern immediately afterward.
He's going to first head to Kakariko.
You know, P-Train did not finish these towns, so with that hammer, he might be headed in there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He might be a little annoyed to find out he didn't need the hammer at all in there. If you try to go to Ganon before you've completed all the dungeons, you can't kill him. He's invincible. He'll just stand there and call you names. Alright, well, we got both these runners doing stuff we've seen already. Just like to give a little reminder to give these runners a follow. I will get their links in chat here. They're both very good runners. They're putting on a good show, so yeah, show them some support.
Lanxion immediately getting the troll.
Good to get it out of the way sooner rather than later.
That's a very good point.
Round 2 goes significantly better for Lanxion.
And Lanxion picks up his Tempered Sword and his 3rd dungeon completion.
Lanxion gonna head back over to do, I guess, Spiral Cave and Dark Death Mountain, I would assume.
Yep, following in P-Train's footsteps, while P-Train follows in Lanxion's footsteps.
So really, at this point, we've only got a couple items left. We need the Cane of Samaria, we need the mirror, and we might need the boots. We found everything else, really.
Yep, that's right. It looks like aside from those 2 items, the boots are our only unknown factor, and it will probably be a little bit of time before we see that desert dip, unless the book pops up before the mirror, in which case somebody might go check that out. P-Train takes down Blind, getting his 3rd dungeon finished up too.
P-Train showing us hammer pegs now. I don't think we've seen this. And
of course, more bombs.
Yeah. That's the thing about hard mode. You're just gonna get all kinds of these small little items you don't really need.
It looks like P-Train heading over for Magic Bat now, since he now has that hammer.
And Lanxion is going to make a dip into pod. Or not just a dip, he can full clear it actually. And there's our red king. Very nice.
The plays with P-Train, the plays tonight.
So that just puts him just a mirror and possibly boots away from go mode.
So P-Train is electing to finish up Eastern Palace after his first dip, while Lanxion opens up Palace of Darkness. Let's see which one of these guys, see if they can pull out the mirror or some boots. Our tracker, I believe, pointing out that the mirror could actually be in Ganon's tower if the Book of Medora pops up. That would, wow, that'd be pretty trolly, but in keeping with this seed, I think.
Yeah, that's one of the things about all dungeons. You might hit your go mode in Ganon's tower.
Lanxion having some trouble with his keys there.
Yeah, that one door is a bit annoying in pod because it's always tempting to go there until you remember you don't have the key you need. P-Train gonna take on the Armros Knights now. Since it's hard mode, he cannot use the silvers he has, so he's gonna have to use most of his arrows. But he gets off a really nice quick kill.
And that is dungeon number 4 for P-Train, and it pulls out his flute, and I'm gonna guess he's going right into pod.
Tech Girl, we definitely need the mirror. The boots, we're not sure if we need. We'll have to wait till we get inside Desert Palace. And of course, there's always everyone's favorite Ganon's Tower big key on the torch. But we know for sure we do need the mirror.
Lanxion finding the cape, which I believe pulls Spike Cave into logic.
Yeah, as well as Laser Bridge. And there's a mushroom.
Feeling awfully fetch questy here in pod. Now we just need a shovel.
Yeah, the boots could be on ped, but we still have a lot of locations left to hunt, so I wouldn't get too hyped up about it just yet. And there was that hint about a unique item in Cave 45, so that could be the boots.
Lanxion's wrapping up his pod checks and is now heading for Helmasaur.
Lanxion has not picked up his Cane of Samaria, so he's going to have to push that statue to open the door.
Yeah, so hopefully with the items that they have, especially having picked up that mushroom, Lanxion will go ahead and do a couple quick turn-in quests and get that Samaria and not leave it behind for too long, I hope.
P-Train going to do a hammer jump here. This is one of the trickier bomb jumps to pull off, mostly because that floor is collapsing under you. So the timing is pretty tight.
And both our runners nailed that jump. Very nice. The mirror off of Helmasaur King as Lanxion grabs his fourth dungeon.
So after a pretty rough start to this seed, all of a sudden just everything is just kind of falling into place here. So yeah, we'll be in possible go mode once P-Train beats Helmasaur. I imagine probably his first destination will be Desert Palace, just to check if he needs to find the boots.
Yeah, Lanxion's dungeon order here paying off since doing pod first. He does get to head right into Eastern.
P-Train getting harassed just a little bit by those beetles. So really, I guess the biggest questions left are, do we need those boots? And when will Lanxion get over to pick up his Cane of Samaria? That was at the Hammer Pegs, right?
That was in Magic Bat.
Oh, Magic Bat, yes. So yeah, those are kind of the two biggest questions left.
Well, luckily for Lanxion, if he is sort of poring over his options right now, he still does have Ice Palace left to finish, which he has mostly cleared out at this point. So he could head there first, finish it up, and from there maybe see if he's going to try to go for the swamp play, or if he's going to do some of those fetch quests.
Yeah, personally I like to get the fetch quests out of the way before trying to full clear swamp, but we'll see what Lanxion decides on.
Well, they do have the Swamp Palace hint to this seed, so they do know they don't have to worry about left side.
It is true.
Okay,
Thanks.
this was a good start. Starting up the fetch quests.
Yep. Looks like Lanxion going to desert.
Yep, and P-Train finishing off Helmasaur King, leading both our runners to 5 completed dungeons. They're halfway there.
Well, plus Aga as well.
Yeah, I realized that just after I said that.
Just a piece of heart in Checkerboard Cave. P-Train was going to desert, but he's changed his mind now.
Wonder if that was an intentional decision to skip the mushroom there for P-Train, or if he just forgot about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He picked up a green potion. Wonder if there's some sort of a glitch he intends to do with that.
He might just be stocking up for Meyer, given the cane and the fire rod usage.
True. And that is a small key on the torch. So if this next chest is not the big key, then we do need the boots. And it's the map, so we're going to need to find the boots. So hold the go mode. Unique item and ice pouch. Well, we knew that. Wonder if he'll remember that hint about Cave 45. There's a good chance those are the boots.
It's a great point. Looks like Lanxion is going for the swamp play. He might be feeling a little bit of the pressure since he got into Ice Palace a little bit later than P-Train did, so he might be feeling a little bit behind right now.
I do hope Lanxion got that hint about the left side of swamp. Something sharp on a boss. Yeah, we got that. That was on Moldorm.
Moldorm, that was our sword.
Full heart container for Lanxion.
P-Train looks like he's heading up to do some more Dark World checks before going into Swamp Palace. Let's see if this unique item over here pays off for him.
And we get the boots. Alright, so 1 hour 16 minutes. That is go mode for P-Train. So at this point, Lanxion needs the boots and the cane of smile. Luckily, they are pretty close to each other, so maybe you can route them in together.
Yeah, especially coming up from swamps, since he'll be in Dark World already. Hopefully he will, I believe he also got that cave hint, so hopefully he'll remember that, head up, grab those boots, and then up into Kakariko Village for that magic bag.
Actually going straight to the back of swamp. So maybe he did get that hint about left side. Train grabs the big key and he's just going to mirror out. He doesn't need anything else. P-Train gonna go face Lamulus. At about the same time, Lanxion will be facing Argus.
Yeah, both of our runners right on each other's heels here as they head towards their respective bosses. Oh, P-Train sniping out that last fire rod shot on Landmo. Great kill. 6 dungeons down for him. Alright, Lanxion, where are you headed?
Looks like he'll go finish ice. As P-Train makes his way into Misery Mire.
Making very quick work of that first Wizrobe room.
Now, are we going to get a nice mire? Yes, we are. And P-Train gonna try to hover. Just one shot.
It's the thought that counts with the hovering.
Yeah. Action setting up the bomb jump. Misses it on the first try. There it goes. P-Train showing us some powder on the anti-fairy. Just one heart from it in hard mode. And time for Vitreous. He's going to use that cape. And you'll notice the magic on the cape runs out twice as fast in hard mode. And he only gets half his magic back with that potion.
Looks like he's decided to save that for an emergency.
Now should be 8 arrows. And a nice fight.
And that is 7 down for P-Train. He's just got 3 bosses left to take out. And, of course, both Agas.
Adjust Deja. These settings were chosen by Lanxion.
So we've got 1 item left here, and that is going to be on Cold Stare. Lanxion's going to be hoping for the boots or the Cane of Samaria, but unfortunately we know neither one is going to be here.
Hopefully he doesn't find the book. Send him on a bit of a wild goose chase.
Yeah, finding the book right now would be just tragic.
Oh, the shovel, that's good. So that actually puts him in the right area. So yeah, maybe he will be tempted to go do some of those fetch quests now.
Okay, this is a good start.
P-Train, meanwhile, can just go mode Ice Palace.
Oh, he's going for Pyramid Fairy, that Ice Palace being the second red crystal.
Ah. Well, he's not going to find anything of use here. Hopefully he heads back over towards that shovel spot. Just 25 rupees. P-Train taking on Cold Stare. And he gets it done.
A very nice fight from P-Train. Lanxion heading up to turn in the green pendant from Argus.
Well, he gets a hurt, which is not nothing in hard mode, but not what he was hoping for.
Yeah, we definitely need the C to just kick him in the right direction here.
It looks like he might be heading there. Where's he going now?
Did he get the book?
Oh, he's just going to blind pull the ped.
Oh, that's right. He has all three. Yeah. These all dungeon seats kind of throw me for a loop.
Oh, he's not too happy with that. He's trying to decide where to go next. Meanwhile, P-Train starts on Swamp Palace, which he'll be able to just whip right through. Lanxion looks like he's gonna go. Is he gonna go into Mire?
Yeah, he cleared everything here, including the checkerboard cave. So he's going to go in hoping for the Cane of Samaria in Mire.
Oh, this is not good.
And we did not get that extremely valuable Mire hint tile of this seed, which tells us what is over on the fire-locked side. So he is not going to be able to safely skip that cutscene if he's looking for items. Oh!
Oh, he's changed his mind.
Lanxion's playing with us here.
Did he just remember the fetch quests? Well, 3 is the right number.
Alright, this is looking good.
Problem is he needs to be in the Dark Lord to do Cave 45.
Well, hopefully he's going to get the cane here. So hopefully he just has to not run into Mire. He has to think about... Yeah, this could turn out to be a very painful cane for Lanxion.
Yeah, he's gonna full clear Mire, and I wonder if he's gonna go just straight to Turtle Rock after this. I mean, he'll check Desert and he'll get the bad news.
I think Lanxion already has the bad news from Desert, so he knows he's still looking for boots.
P-Train, meanwhile, takes out Argus. What's this green pendant? And he's just got to do Turtle Rock, and then Aga 1, and Dennis Tower, and then he can go and fight Ganon. Lanxion unfortunately will not be able to take advantage of this early big key. He's got to be careful to just drain most of his health walking on those spikes.
Although I think if he does die here in Mire and rage quits it, that could be possibly the best thing for him.
Yeah, but he used one of his potions, so now he's got lots of health. P-Train, meanwhile, heading into Turtle Rock, and he can just go mode right through here. It's interesting that P-Train still only has 7 hearts. He skipped a lot of chests that Lanxion picked up.
Yeah, and that definitely also just goes to show, you know, how much less healthy a hard mode seed is than a normal mode seed.
There's the Cane of Burnout for P-Train. Not very useful in hard mode, since it does not provide you with invulnerability. Unique item held with the fissions. Don't remember what that was. Oh, ether, that's right. While our runners are working on these dungeons, just like to throw out another reminder to give these guys a follow. I'll post links to their Twitch in chat. Yeah, these guys doing a great job, so show them some support. Lanxion gonna use arrows on the eyeballs. Of course, he can't use his silver arrows. He decides to switch to his sword now. Meanwhile, P-Train can just go straight to Triax.
Alright, Vitreous down for Lanxion as P-Train goes onto the second Trinex head.
Makes quick work of the first two heads. Very nice Trinex fight there from P-Train. Alright, where is Lanxion gonna go from here? Okay, 3, that is the right spot. Fortunately for Lanxion, P-Train now is gonna head to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I think it's time for a game.
Yeah, so the first thing he has to do is he has to go through the basement and find the GT Big Key. There's 22 locations they can be. So if you want, throw a guess in chat, 1 through 22. I think I will, I'd like to give Lanxion at least a little bit of time to catch up, even though I know it's a bit far behind. So I'm just going to say 22. What do you think?
Yeah, I would like to see, this seed was really trolly early on, and then it's become a lot more linear and kind later on. So I'm going to go with Tile Room. Let's see some of that troll return.
That's the same thing I said.
Well, it might not be 22.
Oh, that's true.
Or I'll say, how about Behind Ice Armos?
Alright. Well, it's not the first two. Okay, Lanxion looks like he's headed towards the shovel spot. Unfortunately, he's not in the Dark World, which means he won't be able to go to Cave 45 easily.
Six chests in and still nothing in GT.
I hope Lanxion is not going to go to Turtle Rock. Oh, he is. Well, I mean, he can full clear it, I guess.
It's just a shame to see this, though, because he could go mode this and save himself some time. And just every moment he doesn't have those boots is further time loss.
Yeah. So small key on the torch, that was number 7. The boots were in Cave 45, that cave that is south of the Haunted Grove that you need to mirror to. Okay, that was
Chest 12, still some cash. And there's 17 chests down, but hey, at least P-Train did get his 8th heart piece, so that's actually pretty good for him.
That's not bad. And we're coming up to Bob's chest. That's
Number 18 here.
one.
As P-Train mercilessly kills Bob for a single rupee.
P-Train using a funny little sword poke technique there.
Very uncomfortable fight.
Whatever works.
Number
There
20.
Well, so now just the GT climb left for P-Train, then off to Aga, and then Ganon. Sorry?
Oh no, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say, Space Indian, the silvers can only be used in Ganon's room, but they do have silvers. P-Train cutting it close on those spikes. Luckily, there's some fairies here that he can use to refill.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to dip into this refill room and hang on to his blue potions for as long as he can.
For some reason, he did not pick up the magic refill. That's interesting. Well, he gets one there anyway. Lanxion, we're going to head into Mimic Cave for some more disappointment, unfortunately. And here's Lion Molus 2, and P-Train gets it in one cycle.
Another very good Lambo fight from P-Train.
Here's where you see one of the effects of hard mode. P-Train's going to use his lamp to light most of these torches because he really needs to conserve magic at this point.
That's right.
Of course, there's a refill after this room, so we can just use the fire rod there. Lanxion is going to look on Laser Bridge.
Looks like he's going for that safety door.
Yeah. 1.5 hearts. This seems like the obvious strategy.
And the bug net. Well, I did say I want to see the seed bring back the troll towards the end, and in the very last chest, there it is.
Yeah.
Along with a terrible pun in chat.
So, P-Train facing off against Aga 2.
Very nice geometry. Lanxion starting up his Trinex fight. Oh!
Luckily, he got that safety door, so he's not too far away. P-Train, meanwhile, can't go fight Ganon just yet, because he first has to beat Ganon. Again.
And this is a great convenience about the all dungeons category. If Aga is not required for your initial Darkhold access, you just finish Aga 2, mirror back over, and go kill him in the past, I suppose.
Yeah. Is the light world the past? I don't really know how the time thing works.
I don't think it's the past so much, but Zelda, you've already rescued Zelda from being a crystal, so this is technically linking back to the past somehow.
Huh.
Alright, Lanxion getting his second Trinex head down this time, looking much better with this fight. Very nice. So, with just Desert Palace remaining, still looking for those boots, and having cleared out every dungeon that he can access, where does Lanxion go?
He still hasn't beaten Meyer either.
I think he did beat Meyer.
Oh yeah, that's right, he did.
This is a good direction. This could be K45.
He's not going to be happy when he does find them.
I'm thinking this has to be K45 since there's nothing else really near this portal for him to access anymore. If he had the book, then maybe, but... I mean, the book is either in the tile room chest or... actually, yeah, tile room chest or in a boots-locked overworld location.
Yeah. Alright, here, Lanxion finally is going to be in go mode here.
Just over 53 minutes in.
Yeah. P-Train, meanwhile, has to be careful. Just one heart. He does not want to have to do Aga Tower all over again.
Yeah, he can take. He can get hit by one blue ball and not die, but any other hits, including missing the main orange beam P-Train. I'm sorry, not P-Train. Aga shoots out, will kill him.
Yeah. That fire shield is actually coming in handy here. I got one down.
And being kind enough in his defeat to transport P-Train right back to where he needs to be. Very nice placement from P-Train there for Phase 2.
Almost dodges the bats. But on to Phase 3 very quickly. You can see now his silvers are finally equipped.
Very nice Lammo kill from Lanxion as P-Train moves into Phase 4 Ganon.
This is the first shot. Oh no!
Oh no! No fairies either. He has 2 blue potions in those bottles.
That's rough, but at least he starts right back up the top. Alright, Lanxion now has completed all of the crystals and pendants, so he's just going to go straight to Ganon's tower.
Oh!
Alright, P-Train is 0-2 on Ganon. Third time's the charm.
Even with the other pattern, he's still managing to line up Ganon nicely in that corner. Being a little bit more careful, though.
Yeah, he tried to use the hook shot, but he did not have it equipped.
Slight problem there.
Meanwhile, Lanxion opens up GT.
All right, back into phase 4. Come on, P-Train. Let's see what you can do here. Come on.
Should get at least a double here. Yeah. One more hit. There we go.
That's it.
As long as we have no bridge shenanigans, that'll be GG for P-Train. And that's it. P-Train has won within official SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 5 seconds.
Let's get those GGs in chat for P-Train.
Lanxion, meanwhile, is... oh, it looks like he's just getting the bad news. Yeah. Looks like Lanxion has decided to forfeit rather than finish it out. So I guess we can maybe get both of them in here.
Yeah, let's see if we can get both these guys in here. Have a little chat about that seed.
Yeah. Hello, P-Train. Good game.
Thanks, GG.
So, unfortunately, Lanxion will not be joining us. He is not feeling well, but let's get some some GGs in chat for Lanxion, too. He did a great race, and those guys were dead even for most of that seed. That was a fantastic race to see.
Thanks. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
Lanxion does want to pass on his thanks to the commentators and trackers, and he says, GG P-Train.
GG Lanxion.
All right, so what did you think of that seed?
I don't know. I'm trying. I thought it was a very mean seed. Like, I know it's supposed to be hard mode, but at the same time, like 7 hearts going into GT was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, Lanxion had a little more. I think he had 10 because he did a few more overworld checks that you didn't. And unfortunately, he didn't find the boots till very late, so he also full cleared a few more dungeons.
That's one thing we were talking about in the race channel. I was trying to remember because I got the mirror in pod, and I immediately was like, holy cow, I'm in go mode. And then I was going to do Meyer first, but then I remembered, I was like, well, I might need boots for desert. So I did desert, and I saw I needed boots. But somewhere along the line, I saw a hint that there was a unique item in the Haunted Grove. And I can't for the life of me remember where that hint was.
Yeah, no, we were thinking maybe that is the boots, and sure enough it was. But you, so I think the point where you first took the lead was when you went into Ice Palace early on, and you got that, you got the bow, and what was the other thing that was in there?
The fire rod.
Fire rod, yeah. And then that led immediately to the hook shot, which led to a whole bunch of other stuff. So Lanxion waited about 5 or so minutes longer than you to go to Ice Palace. And unfortunately, the seed seemed to be very linear for most of it, so he just never really had much of a chance to catch up. And then, yeah, he just took him a while to find the boots in the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, honestly, that early ice, I did a lot of things early game that I don't usually do. One of them is doing South Shore before Kakariko, and that almost worked out for me, if not for Moon Pearl in Waterfall, because I was hoping to hit Kakariko with Dark World access. And then even the early Ice Palace play, like honestly, that was a play out of respect for Lanxion. I did a little research on him, and I think he's got like an hour 27-minute PB for the NMG run, to the No Major Glitches run. So I knew that I was up against some really tough competition, and I figured I had to do something a little crazy to get an edge over him. So I was very happy that worked out. I did not expect it to work out as good as it did with both the fire rod and the bow. And at the same time, like I just knew that was I thought I was throwing the match, honestly, because I got to the spike chest with 2 hearts. So like I could get the chest, but I couldn't do anything with it. I had to take a death, and I almost left Ice Palace right there, but I'm glad I went back in.
Yeah, we weren't sure if you were going to go back in, but yeah, it's good for you that you did.
Yeah, I mean, it was a required double dip in the ice, but I'm still trying to figure out, like, I feel like the seed was really nasty, and I have no clue, like, I mean, I don't know, the early Ice Palace play was nice, but, man, the health was an issue for me, like, this entire time. I was scared to death for Vitreous. I ended up on, like, I got down to 1 heart in the Gauntlet, I got down to 1 heart in Aga's Tower.
Yeah, I noticed that
the whole bottle... The way bottles function in hard mode was getting me quite a bit. The Vitreous fight ended up being a little bit more difficult than I wouldn't say difficult, but slower than I anticipated for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely noticed you were low on health quite frequently throughout the whole seed.
Yeah, but other than that, it was a pretty nice seed. At least the way I routed, I felt pretty good with most of my decisions.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the seed just felt very, very dry. Like there was very little in Kakariko, South Shore. It was that Ice Palace play that really just kind of busted everything open.
Yeah, because I got the flute, I was actually highly suspicious of Meyer. And when I saw Quake, I was like, all right, we're going into Meyer. But then I realized, I was like, wait, I don't have boots or the hook shot. So I was like, well, we got mitts for some reason. I realized one of the medallions we had was Bombos. And I was like, at that point I had Bombos. I could swim across to Catfish Pyramid Ledge and then dive pod. And then I think I could go up to Death Mountain and do the Old Man and check Spectacle Rock. That's all I really had open to me. So really, Ice Palace was just the quickest play in my book. I did think it was high risk. So I'm like, I'm going in here without the hook shot and without the hammer, and I only have 5 hearts. So this is either going to be genius or it's going to be I'm throwing the match right here.
Yeah. No, well, it worked out great. So
now I have a question. So you left pod. You had the mushroom with you from the Dark Maze, and one of the first things you did after finishing up pod was flute to the witches to buy a potion. Was that a tactical decision to skip the mushroom there?
No, I actually completely forgot about it, and I thought whenever I got to Meyer, I was like, it probably would have been smart to turn in the mushroom, but let me see. I mean, because I thought I was in go mode after I got the mirror. It wasn't until I checked Desert that I was like, oh dang, I'm not in go mode. And at that point, the thing that was on the front of my mind was the hint that there was a unique item in Haunted Grove. I was like, maybe that's the one hint that points to the boots.
Yeah, that was the one, and unfortunately that was the one that did elude Lanxion, which did cost him a whole bunch of go mode dungeons towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just forgot about that hint or if he skipped it, because I know he did skip a couple hints.
Yeah, in the race channel, he said that he missed the hint. Because we were talking about that, he said that he basically last location the boots. I was like, oh, well, I just followed the hint. He was like, where was it? And I can't remember. I'm wanting to say I remember it being in pod. But
yeah,
I also checked a couple of hints in Ice Palace, and he said that he skipped some of those. So
I thought it might have been one of the hints in either Tower of Hera or Spec Rock, but I'm not totally certain.
It wasn't Spec Rock. Spec Rock was the chest hit.
Oh, and that was nice too. That kind of, well, I don't know. At that point, I think I had already made the Ice Palace play, but that was, the purple chest was on the back of my mind. Like, I'm always hesitant to leave stuff. And I did leave the purple chest, so it's kind of nice to check that one off.
All right, well, you got your first win after starting the group stage with 2 losses, so feels nice to be on the board, I guess.
Oh, yes. Fully expected to go 15-0. Everybody in our group has beat me decisively in a race before, so kind of nice to put a win up on the board, at least one.
Yeah. All right. Any idea when your next race is going to be?
I actually don't have another one scheduled. I'm actually getting a console set up that I'm going to be setting up probably around Thursday. So I'm looking forward to getting that, playing around with that, and then probably scheduling some races shortly after I get that set up and running.
Maybe practicing your hover skills a little bit. I saw you tried that in Meyer.
I hate to be that guy, but I think my controller's giving out. Because especially like during Escape, there were a lot of things I was trying to do, and just the D-pad wasn't working for me. Some of my, like I would hit the B button and like grab stuff. It was very, very weird. But yeah, like, even in practice, I'm like not saying like I'm a hover god or anything like that, but I do think I'm a bit more consistent than my controller's representing right now. But yeah, I was doing some practice today, and I was like, yeah, I'm not like Hookshot Cave, Moldorm 2, like I'm not even gonna risk it. I did the Meyer key just because falling there is almost as quick as dashing back anyways. So I was like, well, I'll try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm still good.
All right. Did you have anything else to say, Tao?
No, just a great race. You guys both did a great job. It was a pleasure to see you both.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you both for commentating. Thank you, Dimensive, for tracking. I always like to give a special shout out to trackers just because you guys are awesome. And being a commentator, like we literally could not do this job without you. Thanks for the restream. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed running it. So, thanks.
Yeah, Dimensive says anytime. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up here. So just like to remind you, follow our runners, Lanxion and P-Train, and commentators and tracker, Dimensive. And if you want more randomizer action, we got a whole pile of channels. We got 720 games in total throughout the next 6 weeks in the group stages. So if you want to catch as much as you can, follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5. So yeah, so GT, P-Train, and Lanxion, and yeah, I guess we'll say have a good night.
All right, thank you for commentating with me, Etienne, and good night, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Tao and Decay. All right, good night, everyone.